Hello everyone, it's Dave from Dave Craves Raw Food, and today I wanted to talk about regenerative detoxification and the power that we have to heal people from the most far out there diseases, or what they like to call diseases. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying I'm not a medical doctor and I do not give medical advice, and I also do not prescribe or recommend anything that could heal you from any disease, because I don't believe in diseases. I believe in the truth. And the truth about health is very simple. You see, the body is just a trillion cells, a few trillion cells, that sort of thing. A bunch of cells and two fluids. We have blood, we have lymphatic fluid. Now the blood is the kitchen, it's what feeds the cells. That has to stay pure. If that's not pure, we will surely die. So there has to be something else in the body that deals with all the waste. Because all these little cells in our body, they have to eat and they have to poop. They're like us. They're a little bit smaller though, you know what I mean? But they're exactly like us. They have to take in nutrition and they have to let go of the waste the same as we do. So there has to be somewhere for that waste to go. And if it can't go into the blood, but it needs a liquid to carry it, then the only obvious choice is that we must have some other system, like the venous system, to carry out the waste. And that, my friends, is the lymphatic system. And you can learn about this when you get a cold. So when you get a cold or a flu, more in a cold, you get kind of mucusy. You get all this stuff up here, and when you cough and you spit it out, that is extra mucus that's in your lymphatic system. And the problem is that the state of people's health these days is so poor from years and years and years and generations now of eating processed food and the wrong food that's not designed for our bodies. You see, there's something called acid-forming foods. So if you look at a scale of acid to alkaline, you might have learned this in chemistry or science class. 7 is a neutral pH, and our blood is about 7.36, I believe. And so that has to stay there. So we cannot have an acidic blood, otherwise we will die. So if we eat all these acid-forming foods, like think about this, Coca-Cola is like 3, or maybe even lower. Chemotherapy is like 2.5. Processed food is going to be down there in the 4s and maybe in the 3s, anything that is acid forming. So these acids get put into our body by us, sometimes not by us. If you're breathing in toxic air or like fumes from cars and stuff, that's acid forming as well. So we're constantly trying to keep a body's equilibrium and homeostasis. And the thing is that our body can only do so well at that. So when we put too much acid into our body, it's just pretty much impossible to keep a healthy alkaline balance. And the things that love acid is the bad bacteria, the viruses, the things that can actually harm us. So when we're creating this cesspool of acid and just like very, very acidic conditions in the body, that's when we have these problems start to arise. So it's very easy to see that the food that we eat, the life that we live, is very, very important to health. Now, a lot of the mainstream doesn't focus on food that much. They don't focus on what you're putting in to your mouth every day. But the truth is, that is the most important. Now, there are other things that do play a role, like your thoughts, which are real and physical, and they can create physical responses in the body. Haven't you ever been so excited and your heart just starts pumping, or so afraid that the same thing happens, or so in love that you just get this warm, fuzzy feeling? Well, you know what? That's real. So you do need to have a positive attitude. Negative thoughts are acidic, and happy thoughts are alkaline. So it's very easy to get stuck in a negative thought pattern and actually make your sicknesses or your problems worse. But the easiest way to fix these problems is to eat better, because not only does eating better feel better, but what it will do, it will give you the nutrition and it will help your glands and organs function properly, so you actually won't be feeling so depressed. You won't be feeling so much anxiety. You'll be feeling a lot better. So you won't have that problem of those negative thoughts. Now, the environment does play a role. If you're living in a big city, you need to think about this even more, because there's a lot of pollution in the big cities, and the air quality is not very good, which is very acidic to the body. So the alkaline foods that you're eating are even more and more important than if you were living out in, Peru and breathing the fresh mountain air. Like, that would be amazing. So what I'm trying to say is that health is very simple. And anytime you want to overcome a health problem that you're facing, the more you try to complicate it, the harder it's going to be to succeed. So let's just start with eating raw food. So the more fresh fruits and vegetables you can eat every day, which are mostly alkaline forming, pretty much all of them are alkaline forming. Even the lemons, which you might think are acidic, actually have an alkaline ash. So once they get in the body, they're very alkalizing. I know that might be hard to understand, but it's very, very true. So to keep things simple, you start with the diet. So you just start by eating raw food. Now, you can eat as much of it as you want, or as little as you want. The thing is that if you're trying to heal, less is more. You want to give your body the energy and the electricity from the food, from the raw food, and the consciousness from the raw food, but you don't want to overburden the body when you're trying to heal. Now, if you're in a building phase and you're working out and you're trying to build, then definitely eat more. And you know what I mean? And there's other ways around that. We can get into that in another video. By getting your body, making sure that you're not malabsorbed and all this stuff. So just eat raw food. And then there's a lot of people that think they have deficiencies out there. Now, a deficiency is usually not a deficiency, because we have 4 processes of the body. We have digestion, absorption, utilization, and elimination. Now, if these 4 processes of the body are not working properly, or you have malabsorption, which a lot of people do, then you can't even start to talk about deficiencies. Yes, there are some people with deficiencies, but until you start absorbing and utilizing the food that you're eating and getting everything out of it, you might have your parathyroid down, so you can't absorb calcium. There's a lot of things. So just taking more calcium is not going to fix the problem. So you got to think about it in a very balanced way. Everything's holistic. Everything works together. And when you're missing one of the puzzle pieces, especially at the 4 basic properties of, utilizing your food or processes of the body, digestion, absorption, utilization, and elimination, if those aren't working properly, then you cannot claim that you have a deficiency. So it's very, very simple. All you have to do is eat raw food, and that is going to fix 50% of your problems at least there. No matter what kind of chronic illness you have, in my opinion, from my experience, that will fix 50% of the problems, because you will start alkalizing, you'll start hydrating. Your body is made up of over 50% water. It's, some people say 70, some people say 60. I think it depends on what you eat and how you live your life, how much water you eat. So people who are chronically dehydrated are going to be lower, and people who are eating raw foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, are going to be higher in water. But the thing is that we're all made up of mostly water. So we need to get hydration in the body. And then we need to alkalize the body. And we need to rest the body. And these are very important things to your healing. And it's not hard to do. You just eat fruits and then vegetables at night. And now, if you wanted to speed up the healing process, what you could do is first switch from eating the vegetables to drinking them by making fresh vegetable juices. And that could be anything from, celery juice, even carrot juice, anything that will kind of help you stabilize and stay balanced, because the fruit has the highest frequency on the planet. I mean, maybe out of anything, unless you're talking about maybe metals, but I feel like that might be a lower frequency. Don't quote me on that, but fruit is the highest vibrational food, that's for sure. So when you're eating these high vibrational foods, it brings you up to this level that, we're used to living pretty low. So a lot of people can't handle that. So to have balance, it's nice to have green drinks and everything like that. But if you're very, very, very chronic in your condition, the best thing to do would be to eat 100% fruits. And not just 100% fruits. You want to eat the berries and the melons, like watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, and then all the different berries, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, just maybe not poison berries, you know what I mean? But eat all the berries, all the fruits, and then limit the dense fruits like dates and bananas and dried fruits and stuff like that, because those aren't going to hydrate your body as much, and they're not going to pull, they're not as astringent. You want the astringent fruits like grapes and melons and oranges and lemons, and that's really, really, really going to kick up the healing process. So it's really that simple, guys. And the only other thing that I would recommend you do, especially if you have the money, is get some herbal formulas to help strengthen the body while you're going through this healing process, because we've damaged our bodies, we've damaged our cells, we've damaged our kidneys. What are they? A bunch of cells. We've damaged our heart. What's that? A bunch of cells. So we need to give these cells a little bit of a boost. So there's different herbal tinctures you can get, and herbal formulas and powders and stuff like that. You could even go to a store that sells herbal teas and look up, what herbs are good for the kidneys, what herbs are good for the adrenal glands. And you can take these while you're doing your diet. And the thing is, like, the more 100% you can be about the diet, the more 100% of the results you're going to get. Yes, you can get healing done eating 80% raw food, and then the rest maybe like some cooked vegetables or a sweet potato here and there, but you're only going to get that 80% healing. If you really, really need to heal, if you are dying, if you are sick, 100% is the way to go. That's the only way I have seen to get the results where people can just get up out of a chair that they were stuck in for 50 years of their life. They have a growth on the side that we call a tumor, and they can shrink that. But it's with the use of the diet and the herbs. Now, the herbs are optional, but they really, really do help, because we get passed down weaknesses from generation to generation. So we're way overstimulated in this world. We're drinking like coffee every day just to keep up with the pace, because everyone needs to work 8 hours or more, 12-hour shifts. Like, people are working like crazy, and they never have time to relax. So we've gotten our adrenal glands and our kidneys into a chronic state. Almost everybody is, unless you have very good genes, which is rare to see these days, but it does happen. So don't feel bad. You might have good genes and you might not have to do this for that long. The thing is that the adrenals sit right on top of the kidneys. So everyone pretty much has adrenal problems, which means you're going to have kidney problems, means you're not going to be filtering out the waste as good, especially if you can't sweat, because your skin is your third kidney. Then you're really going to be having problems with your kidneys and excess waste in the body, which causes acidosis, which is just a term saying that your body is too acidic, not alkaline enough, and it's not where your body wants to be. It wants to be at a homeostasis of slightly alkaline. And not only that, we have other things in organs and glands. We have a pituitary gland that can be disrupted, which that is the master gland, and that will control all the other glands. Parathyroid and thyroid glands. Now, these will have to do, like, if your thyroid's low, you might get cold all the time. You do see hyperactive thyroids and hyperactive parathyroids and stuff, but that's less of the norm these days. Most people, and the interesting thing is, if you are hyper, it will actually be hypo, meaning less, or under using it or underworking. Once you start fixing the hyper, it will go down. So really anything, even if it's hyper, it really is hypo. So we just got to strengthen the glands while we're detoxifying, and the best thing to do is use herbs, because these herbs are here for us to use. They were put here for us to use. It's just our choice to learn how to use them or not. And there's a lot of books out there you can read, and there's also a lot of different places you can get the herbs. I really like Robert Morris's herbs. The energy they put behind it and the ratios they have are just very, very high quality, and I think that that'd be a great somewhere to start. So you can go to the Dr. Morris's Herbal Health Club. You can become a member and you can get the herbs. I also just became a distributor of that, so you can always talk to me and I can get you the herbs as well. And yeah, it's just and you don't need, I'm not trying to sell like, oh, come make me money. Like, no, I don't care where you get them. I just really recommend you get them. And if you think it'd be easier to use me, that's cool. If you want to try to get them cheaper somewhere else, that's cool. Sorry about that, I was interrupted. So getting the herbs is going to be something you can definitely do to help speed up your healing. So that is pretty much what the video is about, guys. I just wanted to keep things simple. I learned a lot over the past week about this stuff, and I knew a lot of it already. What I just talked about I kind of knew, but it just gave me a lot better understanding and confidence with working with this type of healing. And you know, if anyone you know is scared for some reason, they got diagnosed with something, you can send them this video. Hopefully they can learn about how the body works and how it's really, really simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it, and you can get your health back. It's very, very, very easy to do, but it's hard at the same time because you got to do it. It's easy on paper, but you got to put in the work. So if you guys have any more questions, leave them down below. I know some people that are already following me, you guys probably know all this stuff because you're into it just like I am. But we can heal each other, we can heal ourselves. We just got to allow ourselves to do it and give ourselves the right environment to do so. Yeah, I don't think I want to add anything else to this video. I hope you guys got something out of it, and I hope that yeah, you just don't have that fear that the allopathic medical industry puts in us. And if you ever are dealing with a health issue, that you're not afraid, and instead you are confident that you can deal with this, and there's many different ways to do it. And if you guys have any questions, again, just leave them down below. If you want me to talk about something else in this area, I'll go a little bit deeper on something, just let me know. But yeah, regenerative detoxification can really change the world and change the state of health in our communities, in our families, and in our own life. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you soon.